People talk about social equity, are we talking about the same thing? People convolute a lot of these terms: equity, inclusion, diversity. I think there's a big misconception that equity is even, so if you give everybody the same thing, that's equitable, and that's actually really counterproductive to achieving equity in society. I think planners all over the country and beyond are grappling with issues of social equity and how to actually implement that through their work. There's a wide range of issues that they're addressing, but they fall into two basic categories from my perspective. The first is alignment with leadership. Do they share the same values with their leadership, and does leadership share the same values with their constituents? We have to be willing to take on the status quo. And you have to have leadership, and you have to have the backing of your institution and your institutional values in order to take on the status quo and combat that system of privilege that exists today that perpetuates those inequities. One of the challenges in local government is that even if leadership states that they have those values, planners have a difficult time operationalizing that into their daily work. So now that I know that this is the charge, I'm not really sure how to actually implement that, and so taking these high-level concepts and really distilling it down into discrete actions and tasks. Another challenge that planners face in terms of equity is really having the time and the budget dedicated to being able to accomplish those tasks. The time to actually go out and have meaningful conversations with community members, having funding to give to community-based organizations to actually partner with them in a meaningful way that respects their time and allows the community-based organizations the time to actually properly resource doing that outreach and gathering meaningful input to have a big impact on the longer-term vision. As a planner, social equity and readiness are really important components to actually be able to do this work on the ground. And it stems from institutional support and political cover to be able to do that work, because it does require having really tough conversations out in the community, and it does involve disappointing communities that have historically been privileged. And so having that kind of institutional backing is incredibly important to be successful in this work. I got into planning because I was passionate about social equity. I started my career looking at criminal justice reform and the ways in which government perpetuated inequity through their policies, and I found that planning was actually an on-the-ground place where the rubber hit the road in those communities that really created this bifurcated society. And so I saw it as a prime opportunity to do that work. I joined the Social Equity Task Force because I wanted to be part of the charge which provided better tools and resources and created the expectation of our profession that this is our job, this is our central duty, and giving people the ability to be successful to complete that duty.